Sir, I will start by saying that this is not entirely governance fault, but while I speak about these governance measures later, sir, we need to be mindful when we are looking at these concerns that there are greater challenges that lie ahead. Sir, amongst the biggest challenge India faces is that India is blessed with a demographic dividend, but it has a short window, sir. So by 2035, India will peak with its demographic dividend, which means the maximum number of young people would be available for useful deployment for this national resources by 2035. We are barely 11 years away when India will reach that peak demographic dividend. India needs to get its act in order before 2035, sir. Sir, then there are going to be technological disruptions like artificial intelligence or any other emerging technology. Sir, there are going to be climatic disruptions which India needs to factor in. Other global risks have been portended and also carefully warned to us by the economic survey. This includes the supply chains, the ongoing wars, the reducing globalization and increasing internalization. Sir, I go back to the issue that in relation to all these challenges, can the government be blamed solely? Sir, I would respectfully think not so. Sir, there have been a few missteps. Demonetization, haphazard GST rollout, certain corrective steps were taken later. Sir, while the government did not have the humility or grace to admit it, I would still commend the government for at least taking the corrective steps on these issues later. Sir, when I'm speaking of whether there is a governance failure, I would say no, because government has done rather splendidly in the COVID crisis and the immediate aftermath thereafter. Sir, but I now come back to my concerns, which is job creation. Sir, it is now recognized this is majorly linked to private investment that needs to happen. So this brings us to the second concern, sir, which is private investment. Why are we not having enough private investments? Why is India still bankrolling on the government capital expenditure that has been commendable? Sir, then we also need to be mindful of anticipatory challenges and disruptive forces that are likely to take place, sir. So now I would like to start with what seems to be a major problem area, which is private investment. Sir, I want to speak a little candidly. It may be not palatable to one or the other sections. Sir, when I look at what is it that is not bringing private investment, though the economy is doing well. Sir, Honorable Member Mr. Chidambaram, when he spoke, he said when growth happens, it is not seen only in numbers. One has a sense of seeing it and feeling it on ground. So today, if we have to be honest and candid, why the private investments are not coming in the speed that we would want, sir, is because there is a prevailing sense of fear amongst the business people, sir. Now, this sense of fear is on account of the GST enforcements. I am not talking about political ED actions, sir, but I am talking of economic ED actions. It feels, sir, that I have seen cases and I have dealt with cases, sir, I am a practicing lawyer, where people who have paid close to 80 to 100 crore GST returns on the allegation that they have not paid 2 crores or 3 crores GST, they were summoned and they were physically beaten. Sir, I will be able to authenticate this because there is an order of the Hyderabad High Court. There is also an order of the Delhi High Court recognizing this fact that GST officials have manhandled assessees. Sir, I would think, sir, I would, sir. I volunteered myself because I am making an allegation. Sir, I am saying that GST officials and ED officials need to be careful and mindful when they are dealing with these economic engine drivers of Indian growth, sir, because they are not here for the purpose of committing a crime. They want to do business. Yes, laws need to be enforced. Sir, the difference between, sir, I would be the first person to admit that the economy needed to be formalized. Last 10 years, government has done a fantastic job of formalizing the economy, sir. It needed to bring the economy under control because it was extremely unwieldy. They have done a very good job in bringing it under control. So the point I'm making is, bringing something under control is different from controlling it thereafter. If the economy is going to be controlled, and if the members feel, the members of the economy feel that the entire economy is controlled in this way, Sir, it stops the unleashing of animal spirits, as we call it, in the entrepreneurship language. That if India needs private investments to come, sir, we need to let these animal spirits unleash. India is one of the most entrepreneurial, ingenious people, set of people, sir. If they have that freedom, Honorable Member Mr. Kapil Sibal, while speaking yesterday, sir, had mentioned about granting the freedom. Sir, I am seconding that opinion in a different aspect relating to private investments. Sir, we need to create an enabling atmosphere where people will be able to come and invest. Sir, I want to anecdotically refer to a particular instance, which is something that I know personally, sir. If some person wants to invest 10 crore rupees in a small town for setting up a particular business establishment, sir, he has to go through several processes. He needs to be helped through those several processes. If he feels that investing 10 crores is going to buy him a lot of trouble at the hands of enforcement agencies or tax authorities, then the next person who sees this person undergo this trouble, sir, he would think he is better off investing the money in land or in buying something which is not productive, doesn't add to the GDP, or buying shares. So we have this strange situation where the stock market is booming, but investments are not being made by the private sector. Sir, I would therefore say that it is very important that we remove this sense of fear from the businessman's mind. Sir, I would want to give the example of a policeman. Sir, we were told very early when we were young that when someone sees a policeman on the Indian road, we try to move away because we are little worried. In London or in England, when someone sees a policeman, they walk towards the policeman because they know they will get help from the policeman. Sir, our GST agencies, our ED agencies, our tax and enforcement agencies in relation to business need to be that helpful agency that someone should feel comfortable approaching for the purpose of seeking help. They should enforce law, but while they are enforcing law, they should be using some kind gloves. They should not be using an iron fist. Sir, I think, sir, this government, as I said, has done a splendid job in formalizing the economy. It has played the strict father for sufficient length of time. Maybe, sir, time has come that this government now needs to start playing a kind mother. Sir, fortunately, we have the finance minister who the leader of opposition called Mataji, and I would respectfully urge the Honorable Finance Minister to ensure that this industry, which needs to come and make private investment, needs to be goaded, maybe needs to be persuaded. It may need a little bit of careful hand-holding by the government, sir. Sir, the next issue is about job creation. Sir, I have seen the current scheme that is proposed. I have done a quick back of the envelope calculation, sir. What I find, if you have to give this apprenticeship to 1 crore people in 500 companies over a period of 5 years, sir, it roughly works out to 4,000 people being granted this apprenticeship in each of the companies every year.